Brand new It's in the Game podcast here on the Ball is Life podcast network. As always, I'm joined by my guy over there. I am Denny Blanco on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Twitter and IG at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J, CRUZ. You can find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can find the video version on the Cruise Control Podcast Network on YouTube. And Denny, we're like in the middle of the second round of the NBA playoffs. The Lakers tied it up. Toronto down 0-2 against Boston. They tied it up. Clippers in Denver tied up. And the Bucks are still in it. Down 0-3. They won on game 4 without Giannis in the second half. So we have a little bit of a series there. Not sure when Giannis will come back. Game 5, 6, maybe. We don't know. Let's start with the Lakers. So last night, tied up 1-1. You know, LeBron doing LeBron things in year 17, catching alley-oops out the fucking air. The Rockets took game 1 by surprise to me, but now we have a series. So what did you make of the Lakers tying it up last night against the Rockets?
Randy, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Denny Blanco, what's good, y'all? Happy weekend, if you will. Happy holiday. Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
You too.
Lakers, listen. Of course, they were, supposed to win that game. I am just even shocked that the Rockets are actually competing, if you will. Let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the tallest guy in the Rockets starting lineup?
The tallest guy in the Rockets starting lineup is drawing the blank here. Or Tucker, right?
Tucker. He's like 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
There should be no way they're competing, but with their 3-point shot, they have an opportunity. And to be honest, in my opinion, Westbrook, him playing terribly. What did he shoot? Like 4 for what? He was like
it was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, I know he was doing different things, you know, rebounding and all that stuff, trying to, you know, have sort of an impact, but he knows he got to come correct and come better game 3 though.
I love Westbrook, but some of these games, it just be the basketball IQ. I just be like, turnover. No, don't do that. Too fast, too all over the place. Listen, the Lakers have a front line where it shouldn't be even a competition, but with 3-point shot, with Harden playing the way he is, all we need is Westbrook. All they needed was Westbrook to play a decent game, and I think it would have been a closer game than the score showed. And also, I also put on Twitter, if PJ Tucker isn't first team all defense NBA.
Travesty.
I don't want to watch the NBA anymore. I don't. He's 6'4", guarding 5 positions. That's out of control.
Yeah. A very underrated defensive guy. He's become. The Rockets have been playing better defense recently, but it's tough to guard the guy like LeBron and a guy like AD all 48 minutes. And they got the other intangibles with Rondo and Kuzma and those guys. So they got game 1 off. But to do it back to back, get a game 2, as long as you had the split in the first 2. Again, there's no home court advantage. Usually I would say, hey man, if you go to LA and you get a split, you go back to your home court and try to get a split there. Is different now in the bubble. So you're in the same environment, same court. There's no flying back and forth. But seeing game 2, and just to harp on LeBron's 17th season in the NBA, and seeing what he's still capable of doing, playing at a high level, at a high clip, catching alley-oop dunks like it's year 5 for him. Always energized, always healthy. And then when you put him with a guy like Ann Davis who gets you 30, 35, 40 at night, as long as Ann Davis is coming correct and playing well, the Lakers will always have a chance. Obviously, LeBron gonna have to play his part too. But I mean, before it started, I could have said LA in 5. Rockets got that game one off. Now, do you see potentially LA winning 3 in a row to cap it off in 5? Or do you feel the Rockets have one more game or 2 more games in them to beat the Lakers?
I mean, I can see it going 6. If the Houston Rockets, I'd like to apologize publicly to the Houston Rockets.
Oh, okay. All right. For what?
When it comes to defense and James Harden, I did not equate the two. Defense and James Harden, ew. It doesn't even sound right. Right?
Right.
But let me tell you, they're playing some defense, man. They're playing some scrappy, hustle, great rotation defense. And if they can play like that, along with the 3-point shooting of James Harden and everyone else, if they all come to shoot with Eric Gordon, and if Russell Westbrook just calms down, maybe, get some yoga. Yeah, you just take some yoga, just get some zen, maybe just, relax, just takes a breather. Maybe the Houston Rockets could take this to 6. You never know. You never know with the 3-point shot, man.
No.
They're proving me wrong, too. And they're proving me wrong because I never thought that you could win a championship with this style of play. Maybe go far in the playoffs, but not win a championship. But they're proving me wrong.
I think the defense, Harden still got to provide 30, 35 a game. Westbrook is the key. Westbrook is the, when they double James, he has to kick it out to other people. PJ will always be in the corner, knocking down threes. Russell Westbrook is the intangible that needs to perform as he's capable of. MVP type caliber, triple double guy. If he can start doing that, along with James Harden scoring 35 a game, it's going to be tougher for LA to knock him out in 5 or maybe 6. So I know Westbrook said last night, he's going to have to play better. He knows that. But it remains to be seen if Houston can stretch this series out to a 6 or 7 game series. But bottom line is Westbrook, man, because we know last night he had 10, 12, 14. He can get 20, 25, 30, and 10 and 10. It's like I don't know what's holding him back. Could it be the defense? Could it be still not comfortable? James Harden's team, we have no idea, but once he gets acclimated in this series, then it should go far.
Listen, if I'm Houston, yes, let LeBron get 30. Let AD get 30. That's 60 points, right? Okay. Now you have to slow down Kuzma and Caldwell Pope and everybody else, Rondo. You have to slow everybody else down. If you can do that, Houston has a chance in every single game with a 3-point shot. So we'll see. Obviously, with how the games are, and there's no home court advantage. So it's just about who's hot and who's not, and who's playing great defense. So it's going to be interesting to see with this type of defense how far Houston can go.
So real quick, I know we did not do any kind of preview or like a prediction of this series. But before we started, who did you have winning and how many games between LA and the Rockets?
Before the bubble?
No, once the Rockets beat OKC.
Okay,
and we knew it was Lakers and the Rockets. Who would you have winning and how many games?
I had LA winning in maybe a gentleman sweep 4-1.
Okay. So in 5.
Yeah, in 5, 4-1. Gentleman sweep.
Mm-hmm.
But now, no. Harden. Randy. I'm watching replays of this game. Oh, man. No one had – LeBron was gone. Caldwell Pope was gone. Kuzma was gone. They had no answers for James Harden. He went where he wanted. when he wanted. He did whatever he wanted on the court. Step back threes was wet. It was not a game. And when you have no answers for a guy like that, and he can pass, and you
Mm-hmm.
have 3-point shooters on the wing who can hit threes or get hot if they start missing. They can get hot 3 minutes later and hit 4 threes straight.
Right.
It's very interesting.
So, real quick before I go to the Bucks in Miami. So, when you see LeBron, 17 years in,
Oh man,
still doing what he does, like it's day one. And when other NBA guys who are in year 17, they're going down, decline, the minutes go down, they start getting injured, and they retire. LeBron is like still going at a high clip, like it's year three, still getting 20, 25, 30 a game, triple doubles, going to the playoffs, going to the conference semis. He might go to the conference finals. He might go to another finals. When you see LeBron in year 17 still doing what he's doing as a former player like you are, when you take a step back and say, damn, like how in the world is LeBron still doing this? Not only still playing, but doing it at a high level.
he's a glitch. There's always a glitch in the system, man. There's always a glitch in the matrix, and he's a glitch. No injuries. He's a
While
glitch, bro.
LeBron's Neo, the Matrix.
He's Neo, bro. He's Neo. There's no other way of explaining. He's the first, is he not?
Yeah.
He's the first. He's the only one. You've never seen anything like it. Like I said, no injuries whatsoever, and even with injuries, you could still play at a high clip. Kobe had knee injuries. People have the injuries all the time. They play at a high clip, but this guy. Also, too, the basketball IQ is very valuable. People don't forget about the basketball IQ. You can still be athletic, but if you're not picking up skills as well, people forget LeBron came in. He didn't have the consistent 3-point shot he has now.
Right.
He worked on that. You understand? So it's
Yep.
things that he can work. There's things that he'll say, you know what? I can get better at these skills and extend my career, just like Kobe did in the post. He just got better at the skills with the pivot moves, the drop steps, the fadeaways. He got better at those skills because he knew his athleticism was going. So bottom line with LeBron, he's gathered all the Infinity Stones, right? Dude is Thanos, bro. This dude is Thanos.
Oh my God.
This dude.
No,
It's
you're
Thanos,
right.
bro.
You're right.
He has the soul. He has the power, the time, the every.
Everything.
Power to him. Yeah, it's power to him. Power to the king.
Milwaukee still alive. Everybody had their tweets ready, saved up for a potential sweep. Everybody had their own trade rumor in their head. Oh, if Giannis loses, he's going to Miami. He's going to Golden State. Milwaukee's not good enough to win it all. Giannis is not good enough to be MVP. All those stuff you was reading last night before they won. So he goes down with the injury. Does not play the second half. Everybody feel like, all right, it's over for Milwaukee. They beat Miami in overtime. Miami's fucking good. They're young, athletic. They got every key position down pat. They're deep, and Miami should have won that game last night. It should have been a sweep without Giannis. But Middleton stepped up. I think he had damn near 40. You would have wanted to see Middleton play like that on every night going forward, even with or without Giannis. So it makes it interesting. Miami still has to close it out. They're up 3-1 still. Nobody has come back from 3-0 and win the series. Milwaukee is trying to do that. But if there's no Giannis in game 5, does Milwaukee have a chance? And if so, when do you feel Giannis should come back? Should he come back at all? Or do you say, you know what? Milwaukee's gonna have to go forward without him.
Randy, man, this hurts my soul. I picked them to sweep I picked them to go to the Eastern Conference. I picked them to go to the finals, pretty much, right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I picked them to go to the finals, but here's the thing, and I apologize. I didn't see what did he hurt? First of all, what did Giannis hurt?
Right ankle.
Right ankle. Okay, and so you said he hurt it in the second quarter of that game.
Well, he hurt it in game 3 originally.
Right.
Then he played.
Right.
He played last night in game 4. He re-aggravated it, I think, twice in the first half.
Right. First half. Okay. Cool.
Right. So he did not play in the second half or overtime.
And it went into overtime, and Milwaukee won, and Middleton had 40.
Damn near 40. I think he had 35, something like that.
Miami's whole premise this series is put a wall in front of Giannis, make the other guys shoot. And Giannis being Giannis, the MVP, not crowned MVP yet, but Defensive Player of the Year. He's got crowned that, right?
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year. I don't see him slowing down Jimmy Butler at all. Number one. And number two, it pains me to say this. What if the Milwaukee Bucks are a better offensive team without Giannis? Because I didn't watch the game. So obviously you can rebut this and give me what your theory is. But for me, looking at it and reading the tea leaves, if you will,
I don't think they're better without him.
If they're moving, well, I'm not saying they're better without him. I'm trying to understand how, I'm trying to understand how the offense moved without Miami keying on Giannis specifically on the court.
Right.
How that ball, I assume, was moving around the court so crazy, where Miami was like, okay, we don't know who to key on right now. And then clearly, Middleton had a hot night. But
there were times that the offense did look stagnant, even without Giannis. And I guess that's the pressure. It's crunch time. Miami, to be real, Miami defense is crazy too. So
they're real.
They make it
real.
Real difficult to score.
They're
so
real.
when Middleton has the ball and there's no Giannis, it does get stagnated too. Where the other players are just waiting around to see what the fuck he's gonna do. They don't move around as much. That got pretty tight in the fourth quarter and overtime. So I think it was more free flowing in the third quarter. But at some point, Middleton got to step up. Eric Bledsoe got to step up. Brook Lopez got to step up. All these other guys, George Hill, Korver, whoever, got to step up. Now, if Giannis don't play Game 5, I'm trying to figure out how can Milwaukee win another game without him. Just say, you know what? I'm buying you more time to rest that ankle to get a possible Game 6. That's where the focus has got to be on.
The same way they did when they won the OT game. They're gonna have to keep moving the ball. Obviously, Miami's defense has to change, and now you have focus has to be on Middleton. And I even when you think about Miami, you look at their team. Their team, Jimmy Butler says, "There's dogs over here." You have to understand. You look at every player over there. You look at them. Somebody told them they weren't good enough.
Right.
Jimmy Butler, not good enough. Dragic, not good enough. Bam Bam, not good enough. In terms of their drafts, in terms of where they got drafted,
right.
In terms of where they got picked up, there were other players that were deemed better than them. Even when you're talking about trades, if you will, because Gordon was in Phoenix, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
And got traded to Miami. So
and look, Butler went from Chicago to Minnesota to Philadelphia, not because he can't play. It just things did not work out, and he wanted to either the clashing of the coaches, or he wanted to make Carl Towns better, make Andrew Wiggins better. He was, and I guess they just didn't get along. But now you see him in Miami, the perfect spot for Jimmy Butler. Perfect
The
spot.
culture. It's culture fit. It's culture
It's
fit.
the
They
culture.
all fit. They all fit the culture. It's about winning. It's about winning, playing hard every single game,
Mhm.
every single possession. I mean, Tyler Hero. This boy is how old? How old's Tyler Hero? How old's
Like
that young
20. Like
that young
20.
boy? That young that
He's
young
like
that
20
young.
years old.
I gotta find out. Say I already got Baby Bird for Luca. I got Baby Bird for Luca. I gotta find something for
Right.
Tyler. I gotta find something for Tyler, boy. That boy is bad. Ooh, that
Tyler
boy
Hero
bad.
he's like a whether him or Duncan, it's like a mini Mike Miller kind of guy for
You
me.
know, I mean, I want to mix him up with maybe a Mike Miller. I don't know, Rex Chapman, Dan Marley, mixed all in
Okay.
three kind of
Hmm.
thing. Like,
Right.
they come off screens very well. They catch and shoot very well. Hero has a handle. I don't know. You said Duncan, right? I don't think Duncan has the handle that Hero has, but Hero has a
Hmm.
handle. Hero can bring the ball up the court. He can run the one very, very easily,
Right.
from what I see. So listen, we're gonna see what Milwaukee does. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what the offensive game plan is going to be when it comes to, because the defense is going to be the same defense
Hmm.
as it was before for Milwaukee when Giannis is there. It's the offense. How are they going to generate the offense? Is of course, Giannis being there, he plays deep defense, rebounds, block
Hmm.
shots, all that. They're going to miss that. So they're going to have to come up with maybe some zones, some one two two, two
Something.
one
Something.
twos, and some
Hmm.
triangle threes.
But also, you know what it is too? It's the fact that like Miami's hot every game, and it's not like Jimmy Butler is had an off game or Bam or Tyler Hero can't make a key shot. It's like Milwaukee can play defense too. It's just like they keep getting the key rebound, the key layup, the key three. Like when
It's a
Milwaukee's
lot of
up like
bad.
five, like
It's a lot of bad defense. Sidebar.
yeah, when Milwaukee's up like 5, 6 points, I'm thinking, all right, it's over. Tyler Hero, three, bang. All right, damn, all right. Then Milwaukee's up four. Tyler Hero, three, bang, down one. It's like they keep coming at you, and I think that's the most difficult part for Milwaukee is that they can score two, but they got to the defense on the other side can't stop Miami. Everybody's still hot. If you get one bad game from Jimmy Butler or Bam or Tyler Hero, you might have a shot without Giannis, but we'll see, right?
Yeah, one last thing. Remind me, did Giannis has Giannis strictly guarded Jimmy Butler this whole series? I just for reference, if anybody can let me know if that's the case, Randy, if you can
I
let
mean,
me know.
he might have. But
It's not
I don't think
exclusive,
he's.
right?
No, I don't think so. No, no.
I'll leave it at that.
So the winner, real quick, the winner of Milwaukee, Miami will get the winner of Toronto, Boston. Boston was up 2-0. Toronto came back. The defending champions are now tied up with Boston 2-2. A very interesting series. If you ask me who I'm going for, Kim is my guy, New York guy. So I'm leaning towards Boston. But Toronto's tough, man. They're champions for a reason. I know there's no Kawhi, but still, they're hanging in there. Van Fleet is killing. Kyle Lowry doing his thing. I think a lot of people kind of shut out Toronto after the first two games. The big shot by OG at the end of game three made it a series, kind of turned the momentum, if you haven't noticed that. So before the series started, if I said, Denny, Toronto, Boston, who you got, how many games, what would you have told me?
Boston in 6.
So now you're saying Boston's going to win game 5 and 6.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you something. Also, real quick, that
Mm.
Adam, wait, the gentleman that hit the shot, OG.
Yeah, OG, yeah.
Okay, tell me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
Where Kyle Lowry, he had the space to make that pass because there were no seats over there. True or false?
I think mentally, if you're out there you feel like you have a lot more room to get that pass off. Mind you, you got Taco 4 right in front of you. He's like 7'7".
It
To
was
even get that off over him.
Let me tell you something. It was the perfect pass, perfect screen, perfect catch, perfect shot. You cannot replay that sequence ever. You can't replay it in practice. You can't replay. You can't. Not at all. So it was very, very. You could say lucky because you can't replay that, but we are where we are. I think this is a great, this is an evenly matched series, and that here's interesting. Right. That young boy that Boston Celtics put at the center position. What's his name?
Oh man, oh.
That new guy. I forget his name. It's a new guy they put at the center position. He is beasting.
Throwing me off.
Yeah, hold on. I'll Google it for you. Hold on. Let me
That's
Google
why
it.
Google is there, right?
Hold on. Let me Google it for you. Hold on. I think it's Cummings. What's his name? Hold on. What's his name?
I'm drawing a blank here.
Roster.
Let me see who it is.
Let me see. Hold on. Robert Williams.
Okay.
Robert Williams. There you go. Robert Williams. He's been a catalyst, man. His height, the change. Daniel Thiel was getting thrown around by Gasol.
Oh yeah, Marc Gasol. Yeah.
Gasol. So with Enes being in the backup, obviously, but they put Robert Williams in, and they're balling. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep up. If Lowry and Van Fleet can keep up the scoring.
Man. He's nice.
Man, yeah. He's nice, and I hope the Knicks don't offer him an $80 million contract. Please do not do it.
Well, that's for a different time and a different day, close to draft and free agency time. Now he's good, man. I mean, like if you throw him that, I'm pretty sure. The problem is Toronto has to keep Van Fleet and Siakam. Now they could keep both. They might have enough money to keep both. Now if they let one walk, I think they would. I wouldn't say rather, but I think they would focus more on Siakam than Van Fleet, in my opinion.
GM of Toronto is
Masai Ujiri.
Masai, what's up, brother? What up, though? Chillin'. Listen.
Nah, man. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not trading with Masai. He fleeced us back in Denver.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying what up, though. He's a magician. I just want to say this. If I'm Masai, I trade. I keep Van Fleet. I trade Siakam because I have that young bull on the bench who's coming up, who I think is going to be a star. You know what I'm talking about? The bull on the bench. I think it's a Boucher. Now I gotta look it up for you.
So you're gonna trade Siakam. You're gonna let Siakam walk.
Yo, listen. I'm just telling you the tea leaves. I see that may happen. So just what I mean. If it's so it's a hot take. You know what I mean? Don't hate on me for my hot take now.
That's why Masai Ujiri is over there and you're over there.
Word, that hurts, yo.
I mean, listen. I think
Chris Boucher, yes.
Okay.
Dude is 6'10", shoots threes, blocks shots, rebounds, assists, and can handle the rock. Okay, I'd like to see that develop. Thank you.
But to be real, I can see them keeping Van Fleet because again, Kyle Lowry's not getting any younger either. Facts. So they could look at Van Fleet as the next up and coming guy for Kyle Lowry. They can get a forward to replace Siakam. I don't know. They could keep both.
They have a forward. They have a forward. Obviously they have some options clearly. Yeah. But they have a forward. They can replace him right now on the bench. They can go get a forward with pieces with a trade with Siakam and keep Van Fleet. Boom boom.
All right, last point. So we got the Clippers and Denver tied at 1-1. Denver, I think they got blown out game one. They came back in game two and won. Kawhi, I could be wrong, did not score at all in the whole second half. That can't happen if they're trying to be a chip contender in the Western Conference. Everybody wants to see the Lakers and Clippers in round three, but they're both in a tight spot. What'd you make of the Clippers and Denver series so far? And again, before we started, who would you have winning and how many games between Denver and the Clippers?
Before it started, I would have had the Clippers
Like
in
6-5.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I
Tough
don't
now,
know.
right?
Now I may have Denver in 7. You know why? Shout out to the coach of Denver Nuggets, which is Mike Malone.
Malone, yeah.
Yo, NBA, let the coaches get some family members, yo. Real quick. Let the coaches get some family members. Stop playing games,
Exactly.
B. Stop playing games, B. Let them get their wives and some children. Let them get some love so they can play. They can have some focus on the game. Stop playing games. Anyway, Mike Malone. He adjusted. He's quick to adjust. He's a chess player. So correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he put he adjusted starting lineup and he put the guy from the bench into the starting lineup in the next game?
Well, I know he took out Porter. Porter was starting, but he's not starting no more. So I think
yeah, let me get my Denver roster up now. Come on now. Let's get it together, Dennis.
Right.
Hold
Let's
on
go.
now. Let me get my Denver Rockets.
I think it was Jokic, Murray.
Hold on. Yeah, they had Michael in. Then they put Jeremy in. I think they put Jeremy in and Monte.
Yeah, Jeremy and Grant.
Yeah, and Monte in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to change the lineup. So I'm happy that's the case because he's going up against Doc Rivers and these guys over there who it looks like they're moving their defense around, how they defend Joker, how they defend Murray. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Kawhi can't go. What did he go for in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think he didn't score the whole second half.
Was that bad defense or bad offense?
I think it's good defense and bad offense. Again, if I was LeBron, you'd be seeing on every fucking Sports Center and all that. LeBron didn't score the whole second half. Is he washed up? Are the Lakers done? It's the Clippers. It's Kawhi. It's like, all right, he'll bounce back game 3, but you cannot go over in the second half in a playoff game.
Hey, heavy is the what's the phrase? Heavy is the one that wears the crown. Hey, King James, man, he's gonna get criticism because he's the king. That's just the way it usually is. Unfortunately, Kawhi is a quiet type. Doesn't talk. Doesn't scream. He barely makes facial expressions when he dunks. He dunks How do you dunk without a facial expression?
How do you play ball without it?
Yo, he dunks without a facial expression.
Yeah, like, come on. You gotta show like something. He just like, all right, that's normal shit.
So yeah,
normal shit.
So unfortunately, LeBron's gonna get heavy criticism. But yeah, Kawhi's not gonna. That's not gonna happen again. I do not think. And it's gonna be interesting to see how extensive this game goes. But Joker's gonna get his. There's nothing they can do for Joker. Period. End of story.
Right.
The boy is fantastic. If he could play some defense, maybe he's the MVP of the league. Maybe, but we'll see.
So tonight we got Game 5 for Toronto, Boston, and we have Game 3 Clippers and the Nuggets. So tomorrow will be the Rockets and the Lakers, and Milwaukee and Miami. So we're down to the final 8, man. Very interesting to see how everything plays out. Your prediction of a Lakers Bucks finals is somewhat up in the air. Oh man, come on, man, go give Milwaukee, give Milwaukee one more game, man. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Man,
Because I'm telling you, if you get Miami in their finals or you get Boston in their finals, that's still
but
pretty good though.
I think shout out to Stan Van Gundy. I think he mentioned this. For me, the level of defense. The level of defense,
Mm,
I've seen that's what the level of defense I've seen Houston play. The
mm,
level of defense I've seen OKC play. The level of defense I've seen it's just not Milwaukee's just not playing the level of defense I think they need to play at this stage. It just looks
mm,
pathetic. It's not up to par. There's no I don't think there's not enough physical fouls. I don't think there's not
mm.
enough hand grabbing. I don't think there's not enough shirt grabbing, hip checking. This is the playoffs. This is what, the semifinals? Come on, man.
Yeah,
Let's get it together. The Miami Heat, they're playing like, hey, we're here and we're not playing no games, man. We're to take your
exactly.
heart. We're to take your heart.
They're good,
We're,
man. They're good.
we're to take your heart. We're to take whatever's left of you. So this is going to be interesting to see. And then with with Denver Nuggets, they're not scared of
Hmm.
anybody, and they're
Right.
they're the proof of point too. So it's going to be interesting to see what Murray does and to see if he can go off because they can use a 40 clip real
Yeah.
quick. They can use a
Listen,
40
man.
clip.
If Miami gets to the finals, I wouldn't even be shocked. Um,
I would.
depending on who they play. If they get past Milwaukee, if they get past Toronto or Boston, and they go to the chip, to me they can beat the Lakers, they can beat the Rockets, they can beat the Clippers, and they can beat Denver.
Absolutely.
They're just wired. They've been wired like that, and Spoelstra give him a lot of credit because that guy's been coaching his ass off. Post LeBron, Wade, Bosh era, still in it, still fighting. Pat Riley still doing what he does for the Heat.
You
But
also to Randy, please
mm,
don't forget this, and I think this
mm,
is very important. Udonis Haslem. You talk about culture. They leave a guy on the roster and pay him.
yep,
A guy who knows the culture, can teach the culture, can show these players what it's all about. They got a guy on the roster who can do that for them so the coaches can focus on the X and O's and focus on
yep,
the player development of how these
hmm,
guys develop as basketball players. They don't have to worry about developing these guys as men, as responsible gentlemen when it comes to the NBA code. Adonis is there. They are showing you the blueprints, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of how you establish a culture and
mm,
help push
hmm,
it forward
hmm,
down the line.
right,
It's very easy to do that when you keep players on the roster who've already been through, who already understand the culture, who you respect, and you give them the opportunity to pay it forward. So
right.
don't forget about Udonis Haslem and that culture as well with Pat Riley and obviously the organization. They've been dope. They've been first class for a minute. So
Yeah, absolutely. So who we got tonight? Toronto, Boston. Who you got? Game 5.
Toronto,
Ooh. Clippers, Denver. Game 3. Who you got?
Denver.
Oh, okay. Going for the upset,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I
You want
believe.
you want you want you want anarchy. You want anarchy in the bubble, huh?
It's the bubble. Where are you going? I want hard fouls. I want controversy. I love the Jay Williams, the LeBron back and forth. I want that. I want that with the
Yeah.
players though. I want listen, LeBron I saw a couple of posters. Sorry, Westbrook Russell. I love you, baby. I
That
love
was
you,
crazy.
Russell.
Game 1. Yeah, that was bad. That was
Russell.
bad.
Russell, I love you, baby. But I need you
That
to
was
come up
tough.
with some. I need you to come up with your own posters for your basketball cards because LeBron James got about, I think, 3 on you.
Mm.
I think a block
Oh, that
and
block is crazy.
a block and then a leaner just on a fast break. He just caught it and he caught it, looked at you. I don't even think he looked at you. I think he just caught it and said, I'm just taking off. I don't care who's in front of me.
But then LeBron got the dunk on Russell. He got the muff block up against the backboard. They didn't have the volleyball shit last night. You're like,
but see, and that's the thing with Russell too. Russell saw LeBron coming. Russell looked him dead in the eye, and LeBron was like, "Don't try these 80-year-old legs, baby. Don't try Grandpa. Don't do it." Now you see my hair. My hair may be receding. My hair may be receding.
Right.
But I can still play this game, baby.
Yo, if Westbrook plays at that MVP level, like I want to see LeBron, AD at a high level against Harden and Westbrook at a high level.
Absolutely.
I don't want 3 out of 4 doing well. I want all 4 going at it on some Avengers type shit. And that's when you see like, all right, who's gonna go ball out all 48 minutes? But I know Westbrook will come correct in game 3, play better. Harden's gonna do what he does. LeBron gonna do what he does. AD gonna do what he does. So it should be interesting. You got Toronto tonight. You got Denver tonight. We'll see what happens. I'll catch up with you later in the week. You can find my man Denny on Twitter and Instagram at I am Denny Blanco. You can find me at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter JCRUZ. You can find the audio version of the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you're a fan of videos, you can find the video version of it on the Cruise Control Podcast Network on YouTube. Denny, my man, always appreciate it.
That's what it is. Ball is life.
There you go. All right.